at me now. Just look at me now. Just look at me now. All eyes upon me. Take a look at me now. Just look at me now. There ain't no stopping when I'm feeling like I do. Just look at me now. Look at me now.
Champions of England once again.
The Barclays FA Women's Super League is back, and never before has there been so much excitement ahead of a new season. Big signings, managers coming and going, fans back in the stadiums, and for you at home, a new broadcasting deal which means there'll be more eyes on women's football in England than ever before.
The Women's Super League will be shown on the BBC in what's being described as a landmark deal.
Watch me, all eyes on us.
Miedemar! Oh, what a magnificent goal!
All eyes on us.
Ellen White, there is the trademark celebration.
Brilliant, brilliant goal.
Stand up. Who will be crowned? Who be on top? Or who will go down? All eyes on us. Let's all rise up.
Well, what a season it looks set to be, and here is what's coming your way on the Women's Football Show. The defending champions got underway at the Emirates, with Arsenal keen to get one over their London rivals. Also desperate to knock Chelsea off their perch, Manchester City began with a trip to Goodison. And it all began on Friday as Manchester United looked for a perfect start at home to Reading. And we'll bring you all the goals across the league in the company of someone who's won 3 league titles. Katie Chapman, great to see you. And we start right here at the Emirates to see if Katie's former sides can lay down an early marker in this season's title race.
Oh, what a start this is for Arsenal. Oh, what a goal. It's a glorious finish.
Chelsea find the breakthrough.
How about that? Chelsea are ahead.
Vivian Miedemar. Miedemar, oh, what a goal.
Kerr, brilliant finish.
Commentary comes from Jonathan Pearce.
The flags are fluttering. Great to see WSL football being played in the main stadia. Well, Arsenal give a club WSL debut to Mana Iwabuchi, that close season signing from Aston Villa. Also to Frida Manum, the Norwegian international from Linköping. She won the Swedish title there. And Nikita Paris will have to make her league debut for the Gunners from the bench, despite scoring 2 in their Champions League qualifier against Slavia Prague 5 days ago. She's replaced by Beth Mead in the side. Tobin Heath didn't sign in time to play. Williamson, Little, Iwabuchi and Miedemar all played in the Summer Olympics. Well, Chelsea leave their big names from the Japan Games on the bench. Last season's 53-goal pair, Fran Kirby and Sam Kerr, are being given longer to get back into their WSL stride. Gold medalist Jess Fleming and silver medalist Jonna Andersson too. So in her 250th game in charge, Emma Hayes goes with the squad who've been back in training for 7 weeks with her. 8 of the team started the Champions League final hammering by Barcelona, including the whole defence. Captain Eriksson is the only starter who played in the Olympic Games. Williamson. Miedemar making the run in behind. Beth Mead is in the middle. Checks back against Carter and scores! That is a typical Vivian Miedemar goal. Arsenal are ahead against the champions. Lyon came calling, they wanted her. She stayed at Arsenal. She's desperately important for them. 24 goals last season. She's edging towards 100 for the club. And that's her first of the WSL season. Took it in her stride, then steps back against Carter. We've seen her do that so many times before. 1-0 Arsenal. It's a lovely header by McCabe. And in behind Charles and gets across to the far stick. And Mead arrives. Iwabuchi's in a bit of space now and gets a shot, but gets a shot over. And suddenly she found herself in space because for some reason Melanie Leupolz, who knew she was on her shoulder, stepped out. And Arsenal should have had a second. Bad miss. Decent build-up by Chelsea, but where are they going with it? G, more direct now, back to her. Chance for Chelsea to level, and a very good intervening challenge by Leah Williamson. Kept it at 1-0 to Arsenal. 2 minutes to go in the half. Their second corner. Cuthbert out to right, and he'll switch it to the left foot then. Luke to the far post. There's a claim there by Chelsea that Eriksson was fouled. Millie Bright. Leupolz with the half turn. Here's Cuthbert. 1-1. It's been coming. Champions are level. Big vote of confidence in Erin Cuthbert today from Emma Hayes. Didn't make the Olympics with Team GB. Gets a start as the Olympians are rested, and she's played well so far. Left in there in a pocket of space. She will pop up and get goals for Chelsea. And that's an important one. There's Pernilla Harder. Gura Wrighton. Oh, that's a difficult cross to pull off when you're off balance, and she struck the woodwork. Scored 2 goals against the Arsenal last season in the League Cup competition, and nearly puts them ahead at the start of the second half. She started to control the game from this sort of position and this sort of run in the first half. Untidy ball off though. Miedema has a second chance to feed it through to Mead. There's her pace, there's her pace. That's it, taking her clear of Eriksson, who cut down on the angle. Mead gets a shot away, it's a ripper. Arsenal 1, Chelsea 1 it was, and all of a sudden Arsenal are ahead with a splendid Beth Mead goal. Fortunate bounce for Miedema, clever ball, and from there on in Chelsea were in trouble. The pace of Mead. It's a scorching finish. Super shot, super goal, 2-1. His team are back in front. Miedema. Lovely run by Mead in behind, and Berger saves Chelsea. Big moment that in the game. Miedema again the orchestrator. Mead with a cunning run in behind, and fine goalkeeping. Spread herself there, did Ann-Katrin Berger. Iwabuchi. That's a good ball in, and Mead slipped the goalkeeper, and Mead slips it into the back of the net, and Arsenal are 3-1 up against the champions. Bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, and full of smiles. Chelsea caught cold, and they've got a lot of work to do. Little question here of offside. She's a yard offside for me. But there's no VAR in WSL. Lovely, well-worked attack. Brilliant ball by Iwabuchi. And a calm, assured finish by Beth Mead. That's a lovely ball on. And here's Kirby. Kerr attacking the ball in the middle. That's a strong challenge by Jennifer Beattie. Proper old-fashioned challenge that. Here's Cuthbert. Another decent ball back in the middle, looking for Harder, and they're backing it straight away. Pernilla Harder, 3-2. WSL, the place for entertainment and goals and superstar names. And the 2 times UEFA European Player of the Year gets the goal. This is a fine cross on the run by Cuthbert, really lovely cross, poor defending. Took it well, 3-2. Well, it's an upset. It's a joyous one for the new Arsenal manager, Jonas Eidevall. has seen his team beat the reigning champions by 3 goals to 2.
A good performance with a great result, and it was a game that we in the beginning were really good on the ball and we could punish their high press, and at the end we could win the game by having a compact and very good defensive organization.
You can't concede 3 goals away from home and expect to win games, no matter how good our attack is. She's 2 yards offside, but we're not at the stage with VAR yet. We shouldn't accept lower standards for women's football. We should demand that VAR and goal line technology is part of our sport, and as soon as possible.
Well, we're delighted to be joined by Beth Mead, scorer of 2 goals today. Beth, as far as a day at the office goes, look, a London derby, that gets the juices flowing like nothing else. You've just beaten the reigning champions on the opening day here at the Emirates. That's pretty decent, isn't it? What a start to the season.
Yeah, I mean, you couldn't ask for a better start, really, could you? You know, we have the fans back, we're at the Emirates. I mean, 3 points on the board so far against, obviously, the reigning champions. And, yeah, we've struggled for the last few seasons in these types of games. And we did grind out the result today. Chelsea put us under the cosh, but, yeah, we got 3 points, and it's an amazing way to start.
Yeah, well, you started really well as well. Who else but Vivianne Miedema to get that going as well? But for you, that sort of little pass to you, what an assist from her.
Me and Viv have, you know, trained a lot over the last few years, and, you know, we've tried to build a little bit of a partnership up, and today it worked off. You know, she put a perfect ball through to me, and, yeah, no pressure, but I had to score it with my weaker foot. But, yeah, it ended up in the back of the net today, and I'm just delighted to score a couple of goals to help the team win.
Yeah.
Not bad goals, actually. I'd put you there.
True. Normally my left foot's for standing on, so no, I'll take it.
You're not supposed to say that. You're supposed to say, yeah, I absolutely.
Do you know
put
what?
it where I
After
want
the
to put
game, Berger actually said to me, "I didn't know you had a left foot," so that says it all, doesn't it? So.
And do you think that Arsenal had momentum going into this game? Obviously, you played Champions League games going into this. Do you think that helped within this game?
Yeah, I think, you know, it could have gone another way, and we could have probably said we were tired from the games, but, you know, today the way Jonas wants to play is very, very hard, but it's worked in the other games, and you know what, we're enjoying ourselves on the pitch, and it showed today. And yeah, you could say we had a little bit of momentum, which probably helped us get into a rhythm before these games.
Well, let's talk about Jonas, because we did meet him before, and I got the pronunciation right.
Yeah.
Jonas Eidevall.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, well, as good as I can say it.
What has it been like under him? Because obviously we've had Joe Montemurro has left now, and this is a new manager, new players, big signings coming in. As Katie said, there has been momentum going into this game. What is it like in the camp at the moment?
Do you know what? It's refreshing, you know. I think every time a new manager comes in, obviously we love Joe, but Jonas is probably the opposite to Joe. Joe was very laid back, your typical Italian, and Jonas is throwing bottles, he's knee sliding, he's involved in every kick on the pitch, and he gives us that energy for us to, you know, get through these types of games today. So, I mean, he's very big on working hard on the pitch, and as you could tell, a few players went down with cramps and little bits, but credit to us and credit to Jonas and the background staff for probably helping us the way we did today.
Thank you very much, Beth. Good to see you.
Cheers.
Well, earlier on Saturday, live on BBC One, Everton hosted Manchester City in the first ever domestic Women's League game to be shown on network free-to-air television. Your commentary team for that one were Robin Cowan and Rachel Brown-Finnis.
Willie Kirk, the Everton manager, knows that the pressure is on with the investment that has been made. 4 WSL debuts for the home side today. Swedish internationals Natalie Bjorn and Anna Anvagar, who leads the line. Aurora Galli becomes the first Italian player in the Super League into the midfield. Kenza Dali makes her first competitive appearance since joining from West Ham. And there's a second debut for Toni Duggan, who's returned to her former club after a 4-year spell in Spain. City have some significant absences. Ellie Roebuck, Lucy Bronze, Kira Walsh are all unavailable through injury. Ellen White is only fit enough for the bench. There are debuts for new signings. Vicky Losada, who's joined from Barcelona, Hayley Rasso, who spent last season at Everton, and Jamaican international Khadija Shaw. Oh, Losada, that was very risky. It's Anvagar! Great save by Benamur. And Horton clears up.
Good save down to her right, Benamur. One she would have expected to save.
That's a decent looking ball across. Falls here for Losada. Ooh. not far away at all.
Well, she had time, didn't she, to pick a spot. You could see her take a touch out of her feet, have a look up. She picked that top left-hand corner. But luckily for Everton, it whistled just fractionally wide.
That's great play from Greenwood, shrugging off the challenge and finding Demi Stokes. Couldn't quite work the angle. Finds Becky. That's a really good run by Weir. Here's Lasada. Oh, off the post and in! She doesn't miss this time.
What a goal, though, from start to finish. There's Janine Becky who passes it, slides it through to Caroline Weir. Fancies it herself, but when Vicky Lasada from 12 yards out is given a second chance with no pressure on the ball, she doesn't make a mistake. What a finish that is.
And here come Everton with Kenza Dali. Duggan dispossessed in a dangerous area. Becky trying to work the shooting opportunity. It's Janine Becky. It's 2-0.
Janine Becky's probably been one of the highlights of this first half. Manchester City, simple turnover, really, possession. She drives in centrally, no pressure, still no pressure, cuts across, 18-yard box in the middle. Surely you've got to recognise the danger, someone take responsibility and step to the ball.
Here is Rasso to Shaw, and it's 3! Everton are falling apart here, and Khadija Shaw gets a debut goal.
So simple from a throw-in, turn, no pressure once again. Just no pressure, first balls, second balls. Willie Kirk will have some stern words at half-time, and that can't come quick enough for Everton.
Manchester City making a statement on their opening game of the new WSL season. Duggan, Christensen, much better from Everton this, and a trip and a free kick in a very good position here.
Just brings the crowd back to life as well. It was good play. Everton have been sharp in this second half in how they've played, in those little one-touches you're seeing.
It's Turner, goes low, and that's a tremendous save from Benamur.
That is a terrific save, although it's the side that she's expected to make that save on. The precision from Dan Turner, it was hard and low and right in the corner, but Benamur does everything exceptionally well.
It's really clever play from Greenwood. Oh, and Khadija Shaw's gone down. Oh, and it's off the bar. So close to a fourth.
Becky there striking a bar, and she's had numerous chances. If you've not seen Ellen White before, her game's developed so much.
She could have an opportunity here. She is brought down immediately by Bjorn.
Clever by Ellen White, and she does that as one facet of what she does so well in her game.
Opportunity here from the set piece, and two of the best. It looks like it is going to be the captain, Steph Horton. It's Horton, and it is 4! That is absolutely brilliant from Steph Horton.
What a beautifully struck free kick from Steph Horton. I was watching Sandra McKeever line the wall up, but when it's struck like that, what is even the point of a wall? It goes over the wall. Beautifully placed. What a goal from Steph Horton.
Govan asking a lot of Sorensen. And that might just be the game up for Everton. There it is, the game won in the first half. An opening day victory for City, for Everton, defeat, and a big one. Full time, Everton 0, Manchester City 4.
I think when you look at our pre-season, or lack of pre-season if you like, you know, there's players that haven't had those minutes in the tank and they've had to go through the barrier today, and I thought they were really good.
I think the occasion is possibly been too big for us. I think you know, there was lots of real interest around the game, and I don't know if that's maybe played its part, but we lacked the energy that we've had all pre-season, and we've spoken in the summer about not carrying passengers at any point, and if you have one passenger, two passengers, you know, that can cause you problems, especially against a team like Man City, and I think that's happened today.
Well, Katie, I suppose for Manchester City, they have a point to prove, don't they, after narrowly missing out last season. And they did that so well. That was definitely a statement of intent. And that game was won in the first half, wasn't it?
Absolutely. I think, you know, it was probably quite overwhelming for Everton. I'm not sure they turned up defensively. They weren't really solid. And Man City took advantage of that. And I think, yeah, for Man City, they want to be up there. They want to be, you know, competing for the league. And I'm sure, you know, they've set a standard now for the season.
4 goals overall. Janine Becky involved in the first 2. Such a great player, isn't she?
She's a great player. You know, she's enthusiastic, she's young, and yeah, she just wants to get on the ball, and she wants to be involved in everything. So I think she showed that in that game.
Yeah, and some of the newcomers as well making an impact, which just shows that, you know, after a short space of time, it is starting to click together for Gareth.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, you know, all teams in the league are strengthening, you know, and you can see that in the quality within the sides. And I think, you know, for Everton, probably a little bit of a bad start, but, you know, it is only the first game.
And I suppose on that point of Everton, because, you know, obviously Manchester City did have some injury concerns going into this, it was a real opportunity, wasn't it? Do you think that was just one that they just completely missed?
I think it was one they missed. I mean, I personally as well was expecting more for Everton. So when I obviously see the result, I was a bit, you know, thinking what the hell's going on. But it's the start of the season, and it is, you know, they're trying to find their feet. And sometimes you lose the first game and you go on to do really, really well. So I'm sure they'll progress from there.
Yeah, they certainly will, won't they? Well, let's talk about the first game that kicked off the WSL weekend, the new season. It was Manchester United against Reading. Watching this one for us was Mark Scott.
Mannion. Staniforth dropping deep and then sending a ball into a promising area, which has caused some problems. And Leah Galton can't take the chance. Clearest opportunity we've had by a long chalk. That's a good pass. Hansen! The first goal of the new Women's Super League season is scored by Kirsty Hansen. And Manchester United are off and running under Mark Skinner. It's a wonderful goal. It's a magnificent finish with the outside of the boot. Real class all across that Manchester United goal. Asking for a penalty in there. Don't get that. Do get a chance to have a go. Goal, it's off the bar. Well, it was all happening there. Lovely floated ball in from Lily Woodham here. And while they were focusing on whether or not there should have been a spot kick, Brooke Chaplin picked her spot and wasn't a million miles away from levelling the scores. Well, that angle suggests that the ball did go over the line. Galton after this. Ballier. Nicely done by Toon. And then the hit is in magnificently. Anna Ballier with a beauty to double Manchester United's lead. It's her first goal for the club, and what a way to score it. Suggestion that there was an offside against Galton. Lovely give and go between Toon and then Ballier, and this strike from the Spaniard was a screamer.
It was all about performance tonight. The result is the result, but the performance of the group and what they've committed to each other has shown you just exactly, hopefully who's watching tonight, just what this team's intent is and what they want to be. And that's what we'll focus on.
Today we were our own worst enemy. I think their goals have come from us and we have to go back and look at that, and there's no one else to blame. Like, we can't keep looking at referees, or we don't have that technology and we have to go on without it. Today we weren't good enough, and we have to go back and look at that and correct that for our next game.
Yeah, so a huge win for Manchester United, Katie. But it's interesting for them, isn't it? Because they've lost Casey Stoney, Mark Skinner's come in, they've lost the Americans, big names have come in as well. They really did challenge for that top 3, didn't they? They're still a new club in the top tier. But could this be, I don't know, I suppose a period of transition for them now?
Yeah, I think obviously last season, big club coming into the league, want to make a statement within the league. And I think you need transition. I mean, they've got a new manager. Sometimes he's good for a team, and new players in and out. You've got to find your best, and you've got to keep bringing players in. And it takes a long time to obviously build a team. You look at Chelsea; it's taken 10 years to get to the point they've got to. So, you just got to keep with it, stick with it, and keep trying to strengthen as much as you can.
Absolutely, a good first day for them. Well, let's round up the rest of the action from the opening day of the WSL. Then, starting with newly promoted Leicester City ahead of their first ever FA WSL match. Kelly Summers went along to meet a rather famous Fox at their impressive training base.
We're here in the East Midlands to see the WSL's new kids on the block, Leicester City, who've got a familiar face behind the scenes.
Heskey! He scores! Oh, I say!
Emil Heskey, how does it feel to be back in Leicester?
Good, strange but good. I was asked to come and help out and be ambassador for the women's side of the game, and now I've evolved into coaching and a bit of recruitment. It's a little bit strange because I came here when I was 9, which has changed a lot, and I don't think anyone can say that they have their own facility just for them in the women's football.
There's not many teams in the world that get what we get, never mind in the country. Now we have a player lounge and we have loads of recovery stuff that we can get on with, so it's not like we're in, we're out.
I've done it at a number of clubs that I've been at before, and the time changes the schedule, or you're only on the pitch for half an hour, you can't get done what you need to do, and you're rushing, or you only get a quarter of the pitch space and you can't get out what you need to. Here, we don't have that problem. It doesn't give us any excuse now to go into the next season to blame facilities or to blame pitches. We are playing on the best facilities we've got, and we have all the time in the world to use it.
It's something that 7 years ago I never thought was going to happen, but we've worked hard, we've made some brilliant decisions over the years, and we've been known for building a very young, competitive team, and now we've got the rewards that we deserve, and for me to lead them out against Aston Villa is going to be a great feeling.
Leicester lost only twice all season in the Championship on their way to winning the title, and in their first campaign in the WSL they began the brighter against Aston Villa, Natasha Flint forcing Hannah Hampton into a fine save. Not to be denied, Flint followed up some good work from Shannon O'Brien with a decent effort to give the visitors the lead. Hampton will know she should have done better. The Foxes continue to have the better chances and will have been disappointed not to double their lead after the break when Hampton was back to her best to deny Jessica Sigsworth. Leicester were made to pay for those missed opportunities midway through the second period when one of Villa's new signings, Sarah Mailing, struck a magnificent free kick to pull the hosts level. From the restart and another recent arrival, former Leicester City captain Remy Allen completed the comeback just 2 minutes later after a swift move. Harsh lessons for the newly promoted side on match day 1. Kit Graham scored the goal to give Tottenham a 1-0 win over Birmingham City on the final day of last season, and she looked on course to do the same this time around. The hosts continued to create chances after the break. However, Ashley Neville was unable to provide either the pass or the finish after a lovely through ball from Rhea Percival. Spurs notched up 19 attempts to Birmingham's 7 throughout the game and will know they'll need to find a more ruthless streak if they are to improve on last season's 8th place. Angela Addison's effort narrowly missing the target late on. Brighton got the better of West Ham in both league meetings last season, albeit by narrow 1-0 margins. but the first good chance fell to the Hammers. Adriana Leon striking the bar from range. Shortly after came the game's turning point as West Ham failed to clear their lines. Danielle Carter's shot was blocked by the arm of Hawa Sissoko. A penalty was awarded, with the referee showing a red card as the visitors were reduced to 10 for the remainder of the contest. Inessa Kagman stepped up to fire Brighton ahead from 12 yards. And the hosts doubled their lead before the break when the ball fell kindly to Lee Gu-min. The South Korean calmly finding the bottom corner with the outside of her boot. The Seagulls saw out the second half with ease. A home victory in front of their fans, the perfect way to start the season.
And this is how the WSL table looks after the opening weekend. No draws after the first match day, but Manchester City lead the way with that big 4-0 victory over Everton. Interestingly, champions Chelsea are in 7th after their defeat to Arsenal, but I wouldn't read too much into that one. Well, let's quickly turn our attention to the Championship, where Liverpool weathered a late storm against Watford to hold on and take all 3 points. There were some excellent goals in this one. Rihanna Dean put Liverpool 2-0 up with this stunner. And after she made it 3-0, Anne Meewald pulled one back for Watford with another brilliant strike. Watford did grab a late goal to make it 3-2, but Liverpool held on for their first win of the season. Well, Katie, 2 excellent goals and almost identical as well.
Yeah, they were identical. There's both outside of the box, right-footed. I think one was more central than the other, but in the top corner where the keeper's got no chance of saving it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, let's take a look at how the table looks after the weekend then. Sunderland and London City Lionesses are at the top of the table with 2 wins from 2, but it is, of course, still early days in the season. Well, everyone at the BBC and across women's football were devastated to hear the news of the passing of Lance Hardy earlier this week. Lance was a loved and respected colleague who was instrumental in pushing the women's game to new levels of exposure on the BBC. He was producer on Euro 2005 and every major tournament up to and including the 2019 World Cup in France, which he spent following the England team on their journey to the semi-final. He was a regular contributor to this show as well, and our thoughts are with his family at this very difficult time. Well, elsewhere across the BBC this week, there are highlights of the Solheim Cup on BBC Two and iPlayer from midnight tonight, and every day from the Inverness Club in Ohio, with Europe looking to claim only their second Waterford Crystal Trophy on American soil. Tomorrow at 9 p.m. on BBC Two, Fever Pitch, the rise of the Premier League, a story told by the stars who graced the pitch. And the Players podcast flips the script on women's football with some of the biggest names in the game. Subscribe now on the BBC Sounds app for this season's episodes. Well, the new Barclays FA WSL season is up and running. What an opening weekend, Katie. It's been great to have your company. Great to have your company at home as well. We'll see you again next week. And who doesn't love a London derby? Arsenal certainly did. Bye-bye.